600 very important verbs for daily conversations. Accept. I accept your apology. Accommodate. Can you accommodate me with a ride to the airport? Accomplish. I hope to accomplish my goals this year. Achieve. He wants to achieve his dream of becoming a doctor. Acknowledge. Please acknowledge receipt of this letter. Acquire. I want to acquire a new skill this year. Act. He needs to act quickly to resolve the issue. Adapt. We need to adapt to the changes in the market. Add. Can you add more sugar to my coffee? Admire. I admire your courage. Admit. He had to admit that he was wrong. Advertise. We need to advertise our product to increase sales. Advise. Can you advise me on which stock to buy? Agree. I agree with your opinion. Aim. I am aiming for a promotion this year. Allow. I allow my children to watch TV on weekends. Analyze. We need to analyze the data to make a decision. Answer. Can you answer my question, please? Apologize. He apologized for being late. Apply. I need to apply for a job. Appreciate. I appreciate your help. Approve. The manager approved my proposal. Argue. They always argue about politics. Arrive. We will arrive at the hotel at 6 p.m. Ask. Can I ask you a question? Assist. Can you assist me with this project? Assume. I assume he will be here soon. Attack. The lion attacked its prey. Attempt. He will attempt to climb the mountain. Attract. The new store will attract more customers. Avoid. I try to avoid sugary drinks. Bake. She baked a cake for her friend's birthday. Bathe. I need to bathe my dog. Be. I am happy. Bear. He can't bear the cold weather. Beat. She beat him in the race. Become. I want to become a teacher. Beg. The homeless man begged for money. Believe. I believe in you. Bet. He bet on the horse race. Bite. The dog bit the mailman. Bleed. She cut her finger and it started to bleed. Blend. Can you blend the ingredients together? Bless. The priest will bless the new church. Block. The car blocked the driveway. Blow. He blew out the candles on his birthday cake. Boil. She boiled some water for tea. Borrow. Can I borrow your pen? Bow. He bowed to show respect. Break. He broke his leg playing soccer. Bring. Can you bring me a glass of water? Build. They built a new house in the neighborhood. Burn. The fire burned down the building. Why? I need to buy some groceries. Calculate. Can you calculate the cost of the project? Call. I will call you later. Canvass. They are canvassing the neighborhood for votes. Capture. The photographer captured a beautiful sunset. Care. I care about your feelings. Carry. Can you carry this heavy box for me? Carve. He carved a pumpkin for Halloween. Catch. He caught the ball with one hand. Celebrate. We will celebrate his birthday tonight. Challenge. The puzzle was a challenge to complete. Change. She changed her hair color to blonde. Charge. The company charged me too much for the service. Check. Can you check the time for me? Choose. I will choose the blue shirt. Clap. The audience clapped after the performance. Clean. She cleaned the kitchen after dinner. Clear. Can you clear the table? Click. I need to click the button to submit the form. Climb. He climbed the mountain in one day. Close. She closed the door behind her. Collect. He collected stamps as a hobby. Color. She colored her hair red. Come. He will come to the party tonight. Comfort. She comforted her friend who was upset. Command. The general commanded the troops. Communicate. Can you communicate with him in Spanish? Compare. She compared the prices of different products. Compete. He will compete in the race tomorrow. Complain. He complained about the service at the restaurant. Complete. She completed the task on time. Compose. He composed a song for his girlfriend. Compromise. They compromised on the price of the car. Conclude. The meeting concluded after 2 hours. Conduct. She conducted a study on the effects of caffeine. Confess. He confessed his love to her. Confirm. Can you confirm the reservation for me? Confront. She confronted her boss about the issue. Congratulations. They congratulated him on his promotion. Connect. Can you connect me to the internet? Consider. He will consider the offer before making a decision. Consist. The dish consists of chicken and rice. Consult. Can you consult with your lawyer about the contract? Consume. He consumed a lot of food at the buffet. Contain. The box contains a gift for you. Continue. She will continue her studies next semester. Contribute. He contributed money to the charity. Control. She needs to control her temper. Cook. He cooked dinner for his family. Copy. Can you copy this document for me? Correct. She corrected his grammar mistake. Cost. The car costs $30,000. Count. He counted the money in his wallet. Cover. She covered the book with a paper bag. Create. He created a sculpture out of clay. Cross. He crossed the street at the crosswalk. Cry. She cried during the sad movie. Cut. He cut the paper with scissors. Dance. She danced with her partner at the wedding. Dare. He dared to jump off the cliff into the water. Deal. Can you deal with the difficult customer? Debate. They debated the topic for hours. Decide. She decided to quit her job. Decorate. They decorated the Christmas tree with ornaments. Dedicate. He dedicated his life to helping others. Defend. He defended his country in the war. Delay. The flight was delayed by 2 hours. Deliver. Can you deliver this package to my house? Demand. The customers demanded a refund for the defective product. Demonstrate. She demonstrated how to use the new software. Deny. He denied the accusations against him. Depend. The success of the project depends on teamwork. Describe. She described the scenery in detail. Design. He designed the logo for the company. Desire. She desired to travel the world. Destroy. The hurricane destroyed many houses. Develop. He developed a new software program. Die. The plant died due to lack of water. Dig. he dug a hole in the ground. Direct, he directed the movie. Disagree, they disagreed about the best solution. Discover, she discovered a new species of butterfly. Discuss, they discussed the plans for the weekend. Dislike, she dislikes spicy food. Divide, he divided the pizza into 8 slices. Do, she did her homework. Donate, he donated money to the charity. Doubt, he doubted the truthfulness of her story. Drag, she dragged the suitcase across the floor. Draw, he drew a picture of the landscape. Dream, she dreamed of becoming a singer. Dress, she dressed in a fancy outfit for the party. Drink, he drank a glass of water. Drive, she drove to work in her car. Drop, he dropped his phone and cracked the screen. Dry, she dried her hair with a towel. Earn, he earned a lot of money from his job. Eat, she ate a sandwich for lunch. Educate, he educated himself on the topic. Elect, they elected a new president. Emphasize, she emphasized the importance of hard work. Employ, he employed a team of experts. Encourage, she encouraged her friend to pursue her dreams. End, the movie ended at midnight. Endorse, he endorsed the product in the commercial. Enjoy, they enjoyed the concert. Ensure, he ensured the safety of his children. Enter, she entered the room quietly. Entertain, he entertained the guests with his jokes. Envision, she envisioned a better future for her country. Equip, they equipped the gym with new machines. Escape, she escaped from the kidnappers. Establish, he established his own business. Estimate, she estimated the cost of the project. Evaluate, he evaluated the performance of his employees. Examine, she examined the patient thoroughly. Excel, she excelled in her studies. Exchange, they exchanged phone numbers. Excite, the news excited her. Exclude, he excluded her from the project. Exercise, she exercised for an hour at the gym. Exist, they exist in different cultures. Expand, they expanded their business to Europe. Expect, she expected a promotion at work. Experience, he experienced a lot of difficulties in his life. Explain, she explained the rules of the game. Explore, they explored the city on foot. Express, he expressed his feelings to her. Extend, they extended the deadline for the project. Face, she faced her fears and climbed the mountain. Fail, he failed the exam. Fall, she fell off the bike and scraped her knee. Familiarize, he familiarized himself with the new software. Feed, she fed the dog his dinner. Feel, he felt sad after the breakup. Fight, they fought for their rights. Fill, she filled the cup with water. Find, he found his lost keys. Finish, she finished the book in one night. Fit, the dress fit her perfectly. Fix, he fixed the broken fence. Follow, she followed the instructions carefully. Force, he forced the door open. Forget, she forgot her phone at home. Forgive, he forgave her for the mistake. Form, They formed a group to study together. Forward. She forwarded the email to her boss. Frame. He framed the picture on the wall. Free. They freed the bird from the cage. Freeze. The water froze in the winter. Function. The machine functioned perfectly. Gain. She gained weight after the holidays. Gather. They gathered around the campfire. Generate. The solar panels generate electricity. Get. He got a new job. Give. She gave her sister a birthday present. Go. They went on vacation to Hawaii. Grab. He grabbed the last slice of pizza. Graduate. She graduated from college with honors. Grasp. He grasped the concept quickly. Greet. She greeted her guests at the door. Grill. He grilled the burgers for the party. Grow. The plant grew taller every day. Guess. She guessed the correct answer. Guide. He guided the hikers through the trail. Handle. She handled the situation with grace. Hang. He hung the painting on the wall. Happen. It happened unexpectedly. Harm. He harmed the environment with his actions. Hate. She hated the taste of broccoli. Have. They have a big family. Head. They headed to the beach for the weekend. Heal. She healed quickly from the injury. Hear. He heard the music from the other room. Help. She helped her neighbor with the groceries. Hide. He hid the treasure in the backyard. Highlight. She highlighted the important parts of the text. Hire. They hired a new employee for the team. Hit. He hit the ball out of the park. Hold. She held the baby in her arms. Honor. They honored the veterans with a ceremony. Hope. She hoped for a better future. Host. They hosted a dinner party for their friends. Hug. He hugged his sister after a long time apart. Humiliate. She humiliated him in front of his friends. Hunt. He hunted for deer in the woods. Identify. She identified the suspect in the lineup. Ignore. He ignored her calls and messages. Imagine. She imagined herself as a famous actress. Implement. They implemented the new policy in the company. Improve. He improved his grades with extra study time. Include. She included him in the group project. Increase. They increased the production of the factory. Indicate. The signs indicated the direction of the airport. Influence. She influenced his decision to change jobs. Inform. He informed his boss about the project progress. Inherit. She inherited the family business. Initiate. They initiated the conversation about the project. Injure. He injured his ankle during the game. Insert. She inserted the key into the lock. Inspect. He inspected the car before buying it. Inspire. She inspired her students to pursue their dreams. Install. He installed the new software on his computer. Instruct. She instructed the students on how to solve the problem. Intend. He intended to travel around the world. Interact. They interacted with the locals during their trip. Introduce. She introduced herself to the new neighbors. Investigate. He investigated the crime scene. Invite. She invited her friends to the party. Iron. She ironed her clothes before the meeting. Issue. They issued new passports for the citizens. Jog. He jogged every morning to stay fit. Join. She joined the yoga class for relaxation. Joke. He joked with his co-workers during the break. Judge. She judged the talent show contestants fairly. Jump. He jumped over the fence to catch the ball. Justify. She justified her actions to her boss. Keep. He kept his promises to his friends. Kick. She kicked the ball into the net for a goal. Kill. He killed the spider with a shoe. Kiss. She kissed her boyfriend goodbye before leaving. Kiss. She kissed her boyfriend goodbye before leaving. No. She knew the answer to the question. Label. He labeled the boxes for storage. Land. The airplane landed safely on the runway. Laugh. They laughed at the funny joke. Lay. She laid the book on the table. Lead. He led the team to victory. Learn. She learned a new language in 6 months. Learn. She learned a new language in 6 months. Leave. They left the party early. Lecture. He lectured on the history of the city. Lend. She lent her friend some money. Let. He let his dog play in the park. Level. She leveled the cake before frosting it. Lie. He lied to his parents about his grades. Lift. She lifted the heavy box with effort. Lift. She lifted the heavy box with effort. Like. She liked the movie for its plot. Limit. He limited his sugar intake for health reasons. Line. They lined up for the concert tickets. Link. She linked the articles for the research paper. Listen. He listened to his friend's problems attentively. Live. They lived in a small apartment in the city. Load. She loaded the car with groceries. Load. She loaded the car with groceries. Locate. He located his lost phone with a tracking app. Lock. She locked the door before leaving the house. Log. He logged into his email account to check for messages. Lose. She lost her wallet on the bus. Love. They loved each other deeply. Lower. She lowered the volume of the music. Maintain. He maintained the garden regularly. Maintain. He maintained the garden regularly. Make. She made a cake for her sister's birthday. Manage. He managed the company's finances effectively. Mark. She marked the important dates on her calendar. Marry. They got married in a beautiful ceremony. Master. She mastered the art of cooking. Match. He matched the colors of his outfit perfectly. Measure. She measured the ingredients for the recipe. Measure. She measured the ingredients for the recipe. Meet. They met for lunch at their favorite restaurant. Mention. He mentioned the upcoming event in his email. Merge. They merged their companies for mutual benefits. Mind. She minded her own business and avoided conflicts. Miss. He missed his flight and had to book another one. Mix. She mixed the ingredients to make a smoothie. Mobilize. They mobilized the volunteers for the charity event. Mobilize. They mobilized the volunteers for the charity event. Modify. He modified the design to suit the client's preferences. Monitor. she monitored the progress of the project closely. Motivate, he motivated his team to achieve their targets. Move, she moved to a new city for a better job opportunity. Multiply, he multiplied the numbers in his head quickly. Name, she named her newborn daughter after her grandmother. Navigate, he navigated the unfamiliar streets with a map. Need, she needed some rest after a long day at work. Negotiate, he negotiated the terms of the contract with the client. Notice, she noticed the changes in her friend's behavior. Notify, he notified the authorities of the suspicious activity. Nourish, she nourished her body with healthy food and exercise. Observe, he observed the wildlife in their natural habitat. Obtain, she obtained her degree after years of hard work. Obtain, she obtained her degree after years of hard work. Occupy, he occupied the vacant seat on the bus. Offer, she offered her help to the elderly couple. Open, he opened the door for his guest. Operate, she operated the machinery with caution. Optimize, he optimized the website for better search engine rankings. Organize, she organized the files for easy access. Originate, the idea originated from the brainstorming session. Overcome, he overcame his fear of public speaking. Oversee, she oversaw the construction project from start to finish. Own, they owned a small business in the neighborhood. Pack, she packed her bags for the weekend trip. Paint, he painted the walls of his room a bright color. Participate, she participated in the charity walkathon. Pass, he passed the ball to his teammate. Pay, she paid the bill with her credit card. Perform, he performed a magic trick for the children. Permit, she permitted her son to go on a camping trip with his friends. Persuade, he persuaded his boss to approve the project proposal. Photograph, she photographed the beautiful sunset on the beach. Plan, he planned the itinerary for their vacation. Play, she played the guitar for her friends. Please, he pleased his parents by achieving good grades. Plug, she plugged in her phone to charge. Point, he pointed out the mistake in the report. Polish, she polished her shoes for the job interview. Pop, he popped the balloon with a pin. Portray, she portrayed the character with great depth and pose, he posed for a photograph with his family. Post, she posted a picture on social media. Pour, he poured the water into the glass. Practice, she practiced yoga to relieve stress. Pray, he prayed at the church every Sunday. Predict, she predicted the weather for the weekend. Prefer, he preferred tea over coffee. Prepare, she prepared a delicious meal for her family. Present, he presented his research findings at the conference. Preserve, she preserved the family heirloom for future generations. Press, he pressed the button to start the machine. Prevent, she prevented the accident from happening. Print, he printed the document for his meeting. Prioritize, she prioritized her tasks based on urgency. Probe, he probed deeper into the issue to find a solution. Produce, she produced a short film on social issues. Program, he programmed the software to perform a specific task. Progress, she progressed steadily in her career. Promote, he promoted his product through advertising. Protect, she protected her children from harm. Provide, he provided his clients with excellent service. Publish, she published her first book to critical acclaim. Pull, he pulled the door open. Punch, she punched the punching bag to release anger. Purchase, he purchased a new car for his family. Pursue, she pursued her dream of becoming an artist. Push, he pushed the trolley in the supermarket. Put, she put the book on the shelf. Qualify, he qualified for the national championship. Question, she questioned the validity of the research. Quiet, he quieted the noisy crowd with a loud shout. Quit, she quit her job to start her own business. Quote, he quoted a famous line from a movie. Race, she raced against her friends in the park. Raise, he raised his hand to ask a question. Reach, she reached the top of the mountain. Read, he read the newspaper every morning. Realize, she realized her mistake and apologized. Receive, he received a gift from his friend. Recommend, she recommended the book to her colleagues. Reconnect, he reconnected with his old friend on social media. Record, she recorded her voice for the audiobook. Recycle, he recycled the paper to save the environment. Reduce, she reduced her carbon footprint by biking to work. Refer, he referred his friend to a good doctor. Reflect, she reflected on her life choices. Refuse, he refused to eat meat for ethical reasons. Regret, she regretted not studying harder in school. Rejoice, he rejoiced at his team's victory. Relax, she relaxed in a hot bath after a long day. Relax, she relaxed in a hot bath after a long day. Release, he released the bird from its cage. Remember, she remembered her childhood memories fondly. Remind, he reminded his wife about their anniversary. Remove, she removed the stains from the carpet. Repair, he repaired his bike himself. Repeat, she repeated the instructions to make sure she got it right. Replace, he replaced the broken window with a new one. Report, she reported the incident to the police. Represent, he represented his country in the Olympics. Request, she requested a refund for the faulty product. Rescue, he rescued the cat from the tree. Research, she researched the topic thoroughly before writing her thesis. Respect, he respected his elders and their wisdom. Respond, she responded promptly to the email. Respond, she responded promptly to the email. Rest, he rested for a while after a long hike. Retire, she retired from her job after working for 30 years. Return, he returned the borrowed book to the library. Review, she reviewed the movie on her blog. Reward, he rewarded his employees for their hard work. Ride, she rode her bike to the park. Rinse, he rinsed the dishes before putting them in the dishwasher. Risk, she risked her life to save her friend. Rinse, he rinsed the dishes before putting them in the dishwasher. Risk, she risked her life to save her friend. Roast, he roasted the chicken for dinner. Rock, she rocked her baby to sleep. Roll, he rolled the dice in the game. Rub, she rubbed her sore muscles with ointment. Ruin, he ruined the surprise by telling her about the party. Run, she ran a marathon last year. Rush, he rushed to catch the train on time. Satisfy, she satisfied her cravings with a slice of cake. Save, he saved his money for a rainy day. Say, she said hello to her neighbor. Scan, he scanned the document to send it via email. Schedule, she scheduled her appointments for the week. Score, he scored the winning goal in the match. Scratch, she scratched her arm accidentally. Screen, he screened the applicants for the job. Screw, she screwed the lid tightly onto the jar. Search, he searched for his lost keys. See, she saw a shooting star in the sky. Seek, he sought advice from his mentor. Select, she selected the best option from the list. Sell, he sold his old car to buy a new one. Send, she sent a text message to her friend. Sense, he sensed danger and acted quickly. Separate, she separated the recyclables from the trash. Serve, he served the guests at the party. Settle, she settled the dispute with her neighbor. Sew, she sewed a button onto her shirt. Shake, he shook hands with his business partner. Shape, she shaped the dough into a loaf of bread. Share, he shared his dessert with his sister. Shave, she shaved her legs in the shower. Shear, he sheared the sheep's wool for yarn. Shelter, she sheltered the homeless during the winter. Shift, he shifted his focus to a new project. Shift, he shifted his focus to a new project. Shine, she shined her shoes for the job interview. Ship, he shipped the product to the customer. Shoot, she shot the basketball into the hoop. Shop, he shopped for groceries at the supermarket. Show, she showed her artwork at the gallery. Shrink, he shrunk the sweater in the wash. Shudder, she shuddered at the thought of spiders. Sigh, he sighed in relief when he passed the exam. Sign, she signed the contract to start the job. Signal, he signaled for the waiter to bring the check. Simplify, she simplified the instructions for the beginner. Sing, he sang a song at the karaoke bar. Sink, she sank the ship during the naval battle. Sit, he sat down on the park bench. Sketch, she sketched the portrait of her friend. Ski, he skied down the slope with great skill. Skip, she skipped class to go to the beach. Slam, he slammed the door in anger. Sleep, she slept for 8 hours a night. Slice, he sliced the bread for the sandwich. Slide, she slid down the slide at the playground. Slip, he slipped on the ice and fell down. Slow, she slowed down to enjoy the scenery. Smell, he smelled the flowers in the garden. Smile, she smiled at the stranger on the street. Smoke, he smoked a cigarette outside the building. Snap, she snapped a photo of the sunset. Snow, he snowed the driveway after the blizzard. Soak, she soaked the dirty clothes in detergent. Solve, he solved the math problem in his head. Sort, she sorted the mail into different piles. Sound, he sounded the alarm in case of a fire. Sow, she sowed the seeds in the garden bed. Spark, he sparked a conversation with his neighbor. Speak, she spoke fluent French and English. Speed, he sped down the highway to make it on time. Spell, she spelled the difficult word correctly. Spend, he spent his weekend at home watching TV. Spill, she spilled her coffee on the table. Spin, he spun the top on the ground. Spit, she spat out the sour candy. Split, he split the pizza with his friend. Spoil, she spoiled her kids with too many toys. Spread, he spread the butter on his toast. Spring, she sprang up from the couch to answer the phone. Squeeze, he squeezed the lemon to make lemonade. Stain, she stained her shirt with the red wine. Stare, he stared at the beautiful sunset. Start, she started her new job last Monday. Stay, he stayed in a hotel for a week. Steal, she stole the money from the cash register. Step, he stepped over the puddle on the sidewalk. Stick, she stuck the poster on the wall with tape. Stink, he stunk up the room with his sweaty clothes. Stir, she stirred the soup with a spoon. Stop, he stopped at the red light. Store, she stored her winter clothes in the closet. Struggle, he struggled to lift the heavy box. Study, she studied for the exam all night. Submit, he submitted his application for the job. Succeed, she succeeded in getting the promotion. Suck, he sucked on the lollipop until it was gone. Suffer, she suffered from a headache all day. Suggest, he suggested a new idea for the project. Suit, she suited up for the swim race. Summarize, he summarized the article for the group. Supply, she supplied the paper for the printer. Support, he supported his friend during a difficult time. Suppose, she supposed that he was telling the truth. Surprise, he surprised his girlfriend with a birthday cake. Surround, she surrounded herself with positive people. Suspect, he suspected foul play in the case. Sustain, she sustained minor injuries in the car accident. Swallow, he swallowed the pill with water. Sweat, she sweated during her workout at the gym. Sweep, he swept the floor with a broom. Swim, she swam in the ocean for exercise. Swing, he swung on the playground swing. Switch, she switched off the lights before leaving the room. Tackle, he tackled the opponent in the football game. Talk, she talked to her friend on the phone for an hour. Tap, he tapped his foot to the beat of the music. Taste, she tasted the soup to see if it needed more salt. Teach, he taught his son how to ride a bike. Tear, she tore the paper in half. Tell, he told his boss the truth about the mistake. Test, she tested the recipe before serving it to guests. Thank, he thanked his friend for the help. Think, she thought about her future plans. Throw, he threw the ball to his friend. Tie, she tied her shoelaces before leaving the house. Time, he timed himself during the race. Toast, she toasted the bread for breakfast. Touch, he touched the statue to feel its texture. Tour, she toured the city on a double-decker bus. Train, he trained for the marathon for months. Transfer, she transferred the money to her sister's account. Translate, he translated the document from Spanish to English. Travel, she traveled to Europe for vacation. Treat, he treated himself to a fancy dinner. Try, she tried the new restaurant in town. Turn, he turned the knob to open the door. Twist, she twisted the cap off the bottle. Type, he typed the report on his computer. Understand, she understood the instructions clearly. Use, She used the scissors to cut the paper. Visit. He visited his grandparents over the weekend. Vote. She voted for her favorite candidate in the election. Wait. He waited for the bus to arrive. Wake. She woke up early to start her day. Walk. He walked his dog in the park. Walk. He walked his dog in the park. Want. She wanted to buy a new car. Wash. He washed the dishes after dinner. Watch. She watched the movie with her friends. Water. He watered the plants in the garden. Wear. She wore her new dress to the party. Weigh. He weighed himself on the bathroom scale. Welcome. She welcomed her guests into her home. Whistle. He whistled a tune while walking down the street. Win. She won the first prize in the science fair. Wink. He winked at his girlfriend across the room. Work. She worked hard on her project all night. Worry. He worried about the outcome of the exam. Wrap. She wrapped the gift in colorful paper and a bow. Write. He wrote a letter to his pen pal. X-ray. She got an X-ray of her broken arm. Yawn. He yawned after a long day at work. Yearn. She yearned for a peaceful vacation. Yelp. The dog yelped when it stepped on a thorn. Yield. He yielded to the other driver at the intersection. Yodel. She yodeled at the top of her lungs in the mountains. Zip. He zipped up his jacket before going outside. Zoom. She zoomed in on the picture to see the details.